They called me El Señor de los Cielos, the Lord of the Skies. Not because I dreamed of flying, because I owned everything above the clouds and everything below them. 20 Boeing 727s, each one loaded with tons of cocaine from Colombia. While the DEA watched the streets, I owned the sky. Nobody looks up. That was my advantage. I was born in Guamuchilito, a village so small it had no future. At 12, I told my family, I will not come back until I am rich. I kept every word of that promise. My uncle Don Nato ran the Guadalajara Cartel. He sent me to Ojinaga to learn the border, how drugs move, how money moves, how men move when they are afraid of you. By 20, I was running cocaine shipments across the Ojinaga corridor into Texas, not carrying, organizing. The man who controls the route is not replaceable. The man who carries the bag is. Rafael Aguilar Guajardo gave me everything. He taught me the Juarez corridor. He trusted me completely. In Cancun, in 1993, I had him killed on the beach. Business is business. Sentiment is weakness. In 1993, Juarez was mine, the corridor between Mexico and Texas, the most valuable stretch of border on the planet. Every kilo that crossed it paid me. Every kilo. Without exception, I had direct agreements with the Cali cartel. Miguel Rodriguez trusted me to move his product through Mexico. When Cali fell, I already had my own supply chain. I planned for every outcome. I did not fight the Mexican government. I purchased it. Generals, federal commanders, customs officials. An envelope here, a phone call there. Corruption is just business with a different name. By 1995, I controlled at least half of all drug trafficking entering the United States from Mexico. Half. The DEA had my name. They had my photo. They had nothing else. Because I owned the people hunting me. 20 Boeing 727s. Each one with seats removed, loaded with product. One flight moved more cocaine than 100 ground couriers combined. I did not invent air smuggling. I industrialized it. The DEA called me the most powerful drug trafficker in Mexico by 1994. They had a task force specifically for me. 40 agents, millions of dollars. And every month, another shipment got through. The 727s were too large to land in the United States, so I used Cessnas for the final crossing. Low altitude, no radar signature, desert landing strips, small planes, enormous quantities, perfect system. At my peak, I was worth $25 billion. $25 billion. I had compounds in 6 states, armed guards on every corner, and I still slept lightly, always. Power's the most exhausting thing a man can carry. I worked with El Chapo, with the Arellano Felix family, with the Beltran Leyva brothers. I was not just a trafficker. I was the hub that connected every major cartel in Mexico. Remove me, and everything stops. One Boeing 727 carried 8 to 10 tons per flight. Multiply that by 20 aircraft, multiple flights per week. The numbers become incomprehensible, even to me, and I counted every single gram. By 1996, the DEA was getting closer. My face was on wanted posters across America. I made a decision that only a man with $25 billion and terrible judgment makes. I decided to change my face. I went under the knife to become someone else. New facial structure, liposuction, altered fingerprints. I was going to disappear completely, to become a ghost. Not even my enemies would recognize my face anymore. They said I was the richest drug lord in Mexican history. Richer than El Chapo at that point. $25 billion. And I had no interest in spending it. Power was never about money. Money was just how you kept score. I also became a shareholder in an air taxi company. Legal aircraft, legal routes, cocaine hidden in the luggage holds. The perfect cover is not a disguise. It is a real business that also happens to carry your product. The Juarez-El Paso corridor was the most valuable border crossing in the world. More cocaine crossed there in 1 week than most countries see in a year. And every gram of it, every gram, paid a toll to me. I never stayed in the same place for more than 3 days. New hotel, new city, new name on the register. I had 12 different identities. Paranoia kept me free for years. Comfort gets you killed. The surgery was supposed to take 8 hours. New facial structure, liposuction, altered fingerprints. I was going to disappear completely, become nobody, a ghost. Not even my enemies would know my face anymore. On July 4th, 1997, I went under general anesthesia at Santa Monica Hospital. 2 bodyguards stood in the corner of the operating room. The surgeons knew what would happen to them if I died. They operated anyway. The surgery lasted too long. The anesthesia was too much. On July 4th, 1997, the Lord of the Skies died in a recovery room in Mexico City. Not shot, not arrested, killed by his own vanity, by his own need to disappear. On November 8th, 1997, they displayed my body at the federal morgue, but half of Mexico did not believe I was dead. The body had been surgically altered. The face had changed. Even in death, nobody was certain it was me. On November 7th, 1997, the 2 surgeons who operated on me were found dead, encased in concrete inside steel drums, signs of torture. My family needed answers. They got none. The surgeons took the truth with them. After I died, the Juarez cartel fell apart in months. My brother Vicente tried to hold it together. He couldn't. A cartel is not a company. It does not survive without the man who built it. I was irreplaceable. That was also my failure. Ciudad Juarez became the most violent city on earth after I died. My brother's war with El Chapo's Sinaloa cartel killed thousands. The city I built my empire on was destroyed by the chaos I left behind. The DEA administrator said I escaped earthly justice. He was correct. But he also said he was sure there was a special place in hell for men like me. I take that as a compliment. Hell is reserved for people who mattered. Some people still believe I faked my death, that I used the surgery as a cover, that somewhere, under a different face and a different name, I am still alive. I will not confirm or deny that. Some legends are worth protecting. I built something that had never existed before in Mexico. An air corridor, an industrial cocaine operation. A system so efficient it became the blueprint for every cartel that came after me. El Chapo studied my methods. They all did. They teach about me in criminology courses now, air logistics, network architecture, institutional corruption. I went from drug lord to case study. I find that appropriate. I always thought of myself as more businessman than criminal. Netflix made a show about me. Telemundo made a telenovela. They called it El Señor de los Cielos. It ran for 9 seasons. 9 seasons. Escobar got 1. I got 9. Even in fiction, I outlasted everyone. That border still moves product every single day. A different cartel now. Different names. Different faces, but the same corridor I built. The same routes I mapped. My infrastructure. Still running. Still profitable. Still mine in every way that matters. The sky is empty now. The 727s are gone. The airstrips are abandoned. The routes have new owners. But once, for a few extraordinary years, a boy from Guamuchilito who left home at 12 owned all of it, every meter of sky above Mexico. They will tell you I was a criminal. Correct, that I destroyed lives, also correct. But before all of that, I was a 12-year-old boy from Guamuchilito who said he would not come home until he was rich. I kept that promise. I owned the sky, and nobody could take it from me.